this last number affect our graph? Well, we've already kind of alluded to it a little bit here in the other ones, but it turns out that C is the y-intercept, and that's something we're still familiar with from linear functions. And even though this isn't a linear function, we understand the concept of y-intercept. Let's say, again, I make a parabola, and you don't have to copy this down, but if I were to graph the parabola there, well, my y-intercept is right here. It's where our graph crosses over the y-axis. If I were to shift that parabola up over here, or maybe down over here, my y-intercept changes. So that is at least one concept that we're already familiar with. So again, let's go ahead and copy this down in more detail, just some examples. Let's say we start with our parent graph. Well, if we look at our parent graph, our y-intercept is where this red dot is right here, and that's a y-intercept of 0. So it turns out that C must be 0 in the equation. Let's take a look at another graph. Let's say I've got another parabola down here in purple. If I look to see where the line in purple crosses the y-axis, it's right here, which means that C, our y-intercept, turns out to be, looks like -3. And one more example. Let's put another one way up top here. Here's another parabola. Notice how it crosses the axis right here. So this is our y-intercept, which is 8. So C is just telling us where's the parabola going to cross the y-axis. So hopefully what we're going to do now is put all this together, take A, B, and C, and use this to help us get some predictions as to what graphs look like. It won't help us completely graph things, but at least it's a start in terms of what to expect, so that if we're graphing it wrong, we know something's wrong about it, and we can go back and fix it. Okay? So again, add this to your notes as examples, and now you've got information on the A coefficient, the B coefficient, and the C coefficient, and how they affect the graph.